Welcome to the Sisterhood of Sweat. It's Let It Rip Friday.
Hi, I'm Linda Mitchell, 54-year-old elite obstacle racer, award-winning fitness competitor, gym owner, and author. Welcome to the Sisterhood of Sweat podcast, where we will approach the difficult topics of life, interview inspiring guests, and bring empowerment to all. This community is a place where we can be who we are instead of who others want us to be. Let's get started.
And now, a word from our sponsors, Essential Formulas.
Now more than ever, it is important to have a healthy immune system. Many health professionals agree that probiotics are a leading natural therapy for boosting immune health. Why? Because 70% of your body's immune cells reside in the GI tract. By taking a superior probiotic daily, like Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, with their postbiotic metabolites, you can enhance your overall immune system and immune response. For additional immune support, get RegActive's Immune Formula to boost your glutathione levels, since our glutathione levels go down if we feel stressed. Maintaining glutathione levels is a key factor for natural defense. For a short-term immune boost, try Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus, which provides probiotic and immune support and includes Brazilian green propolis for superior antioxidant support and vitamin E, astaxanthin, and flax oil. Be proactive about your immune health. Ask your retailer today about Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, RegActive Immune Formula, and Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus today.
I was fired up today when I was doing my run. It's so frequent that I'll just hop off of the treadmill. Well, it's freezing cold out today and there was a bit of ice, so I ran on the treadmill. But if I was outside doing a run or doing my favorite, which is running the bleachers, I would often jot down when my juices are getting flowing, what's going on in my mind, what's going on in my heart. And I always get the best ideas. So I make sure that I have either a notepad handy or I just speak it into my phone. In fact, that's how I wrote the Sisterhood of Sweat. So that's my process. And today, what was just really running through my mind was don't shy away from your dreams today. Run, push, and believe towards them. You are capable. You are enough. You know enough. You have enough. Don't stop for fear of failure. Embrace the failure if it comes. Then get back up and go for it again, armed with new knowledge. Ways it didn't work, ways you think it could work better, what you could do stronger. It's a whole process. And so failure isn't the end, only if you quit. That's the only way failure is the end, is if you quit just because you failed. I say expect to fail. And then you're embracing the real true process to success. Because when I was on the Bold TV channel and I had a new iPad and I thought it was all charged up and charging. I had my camera check and lighting check an hour and a half before time. I thought I had plenty of time to kill. And all of a sudden it was like, I feel like I was Lucille Ball in the chocolate factory. Everything went wrong. And it was like I think UVC cord, not a UVB. I didn't have that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to be on air any second. And the iPad that I was going to use because it was the pandemic. So they wanted me to come to the studio in New York and shoot. But they were like, oh, you've done it in your kitchen before? Okay. So here I am. I was so thankful. I had bought a little tripod to use with my iPhone. And that is what I had to shoot my whole Christmas, sugar-free Christmas cookie production on. And I made probably 4 things. And actually, it was a really well-received video. It got quite a bit of views. But inwardly, I was feeling like, oh my gosh, and that's what happens to us. Things can go wrong. But because I've had a little mindset at work, I said to myself, okay, I will be doubly prepared. I will have double the charging cords I need in case one goes fluky. And I am going to crush it next time. I'm going to knock it out of the park. And I did. And that is just the way you bounce back. When you have something like that, you just learn from it. And today was that my client was sliding off of the jump box when we were doing decline push-ups. And it just reminded me of the time when I was at Fitness America. I believe it was my very first show. And I had dancer shoes, which are very slippery, so you can spin and jump in the splits and not stick to the stage. But I wasn't experienced enough, though I practiced my routine, to know you need 2 pair of shoes, because sometimes the stage is slippery. And sometimes bodybuilders go out before you do and they get oil all over the stage. And that was one of those sometimes. And I literally felt like somebody, literally, if you ever watch those cartoons where so you're sliding around and like the cartoon characters feel like they just can't stay on their feet. I was literally trying to do all my strength moves, but my feet were, and I'm very strong, my feet were sliding out from under me like I was on an oil slick of butter. That's the best way to describe it. And I learned from that experience. And that's why I did well later, when I knew your floor could be so sticky that you can't slide. So you got to have dancer shoes, or your floor could be so slippery that you need shoes that stick. So what did I get that knowledge from? I got that knowledge from, I trial and error and doing it and going for it and not being like, oh my gosh, oh, I'm so bad because I slipped on the bodybuilding oil. So many of us beat ourselves up when it comes to failure, because why? We think it's saying something about us. And we're taking failure personally, like it's an affront to our character or to who we are. When it comes to failure, it's just you learn. If you learn from it, it isn't failure. It isn't saying anything about you. It's just saying about what you need to do. Like Thomas Edison said, he just found 1,000 ways the light bulb didn't work until he figured out how it did. Well, thank goodness I have my lights on today. I thank him for that. If it comes to failure and you have fallen, we'll just go back to the whole stage experience. Again, bodybuilder oil. Now, I would say they need to learn not to put bodybuilder oil or bodybuilders before people in heels. Hello. So there was bodybuilder oil on the stage again. I was the first to go. And instead of being able to do all my moves like a practice, I remember thinking, I just pray to God, my feet are going to stay under me and I'm not going to be sprawled 6 ways to Sunday on the stage, because I felt like I stepped out on an ice skating rink. No lie. And I made it across. I did not fall. I should have got an award for that. I did not realize what a feat that was until 3 to 4 people after me fell. They did not make it across the stage. And why am I saying that? I don't even remember. I'm getting off on a tangent, but I'm just saying, it's experience and realizing everything is not going to show up the way. Even if you're perfectly prepared, you always have to leave room for something to go wrong, and embrace it. And again, I love the stage experiences because I learned so much. I just think back to the time when there was a call out, and this was my very first bikini show. And I asked the stage manager, are we going out in the lineup again? And he said, yes. So I went out. But it wasn't my turn to go out. He was not correct. And I was out there on the catwalk while my friend was doing her solo round. And I started going. And then I realized, oh, no, I'm not supposed to be out here. And so I went off the stage and I was like, oh my gosh, apologetic. And then I recovered. Instead of just beating myself up like you could, I said to myself, okay, it's your turn to go now for real. You better get out there and really get it. So I went out there with the attitude of, I'm meant to do that. that is, instead of just no esteem, just feeling crappy because you're like, oh my gosh, I went during her turn and I failed. I've messed up. I've made a mistake. I laughed it off and I went fully with it. And I placed sixth in my first bikini show at Fitness America. So only one from being in the top 5. So what I would just say from that experience is it's how you get up from failure. You don't stay down. You don't stay down. You just realize it doesn't say anything about you. And how do you prove that? By getting up, dusting yourself off, and going at it again. So also, I got a lot of don'ts today. I don't really like to say don't because, it's kind of like you don't want to say, don't run into that wall because you're probably going to run into the wall. But I just want everyone to stop stopping when you have the fear of success. And what I mean by that, a lot of people are like, how could you be afraid of success? You couldn't be afraid of being successful. That's like saying you're afraid to be rich or get a Lamborghini. No, for real. People are afraid of success. They're afraid of putting their big dreams out there. You know why? Because it calls for belief in yourself. Because you might fail and, everything's a stage. We feel like everyone's watching us, though they aren't. They're thinking about what they have to do in their lives. But we feel like we have this whole choir of people that are going to interject on whether we need permission, on are they going to criticize us? Are they going to laugh at us? We have all these things going on in our head. So when you put your big dreams out there, it calls for belief in yourself and the beauty of your dreams. It also does another thing. It makes you a target. And a lot of people are afraid to put their big dreams out there because it could make them a target for criticism from others. And it can, sure. People you never expect, when you put yourself out there and you go after your big dream, they could be standing in the criticism choir. And that hurts the worst if you let it. But if you just expect it, just like you embraced failure and realize that it's this whole kind of crabs in a bucket thing, then you won't be stuck in it. And the worst critic of all can be ourselves. The imposter syndrome sets in whenever you put your big dream out there and you say you're going to do X, Y, and Z. If you have limited beliefs or you sabotage yourself, if you sabotage yourself when you get a big dream and you've decided you're going for it, but then all of a sudden you start saying all these reasons why you really shouldn't be doing it to yourself, like that is because you have a lack of feeling worthy of your dreams. You don't feel fully worthy of abundance in your life and following and accomplishing your dreams. We shy away and we're afraid to step out and stand out. You know what? You'll never, ever accomplish your dream if you don't believe that you're worthy of it. So the very first place you have to start when you are putting a big dream out there and you are really going to go for it is you have to work on the muscle between your 2 ears. I just keep saying this over and over, your mental strength, your mental mindset, and your belief. You have to work on your belief system and your esteem and realize you're dreaming big dreams because you're worthy of them. And when it comes to a big dream, there is no half-assing it. If you aren't going fully for it, it's because of your lack of belief, sabotage, fear of not being enough, waiting for other people's permission, fear of being a target, fear of what other people think, fear of leaving people behind, fear that you're going to fail, and all those things. So the dream isn't the hardest work. Actually, when you start going after your dream, it's going to be easier than you think. The hardest part is recognizing you're worthy and deserving of having your dreams come to fruition. You're worthy and deserving of the dreams you are having. you wouldn't be having these dreams in your heart if you didn't have the tools and if you weren't fully capable of achieving them. So if anything I said today made sense, give me a comment, give me a review, and let me know that it resonated with you today. And I just want everyone that heard this today to tag me on Instagram and tell me, what is your big dream? I really want to know how I can support you. What is your big dream today? And Rick, I really, really hope I drove home that we sabotage because we have limited beliefs or we lack the belief that we're worthy and deserving of having our dreams. I hope you guys really enjoyed the show today. As always, keep on keeping on and live out your dreams. Bye, everyone.
And I hope that all of our listeners have enjoyed this podcast. And if you guys have really enjoyed this, please review us in iTunes and also share this episode with your friends and your loved ones. Thanks again for listening to the Sisterhood of Sweat.